Kia ora, good evening ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Black Jersey. My name's Max and I'm the host of this channel. A big thank you will always go out to my awesome patrons who are always supporting me, and I'll also remind my new viewers to like this video and give me the subscribe if you enjoy my content. Well, big questions ahead. Next year is going to be the 2023 Rugby World Cup, the men's tournament hosted by France, with Saint Denis hosting the final at Stade de France. It is going to be absolutely massive, a huge fortress to open up the competition, and just a massive bunch of fans all congregating in Europe to celebrate Europe's biggest game aside from football. It's going to be massive. I'm going to analyse who's going to place where in the pools, examine how the finals could shape up, and obviously who will win the grand final after we go through the quarters and semis and the bronze final. Righto, so I'm going to start off with Pool A, make things a bit of a continuity thing. France open up against the All Blacks for the first match. The All Blacks, they are improving right now with Joe Schmidt as the new attack coach and Jason Ryan as the new forwards coach, while Fozzie doesn't seem to have much of a totalitarian rule over the team as he once did. The team has got better as of late, but I still have not seen the evidence that they're going to be good enough to beat France, who are on a massive winning streak right now. They went all of 2022 unbeaten, so I think it's safe to say they are going to top the pool. Italy, they're coming along very nicely as well. I want to say a massive congratulations to them for finally breaking their losing streak in the Six Nations and that first ever win over the Aussies. Kieran Crowley, the former All Blacks, done really good stuff as their head coach, especially with Michele Lamaro as the captain, and all these new caps like Ange Copuozzo who are doing phenomenally well. Italy, I think, are still gonna come third, but I think it might just be a bit of a whisker win for the All Blacks, who might have to slot a late penalty to get the win over Italy. Namibia, realistically, they're probably going to be fourth based on world ranking, with Uruguay coming last based on their world ranking. Pool B, this one's going to be a pool of death though. This one's probably going to be the main talking point as the pool stages occur, as it has both the Irish and Scottish facing up against South Africa. Romania, probably going to come last in the pool. Tonga, probably going to come fourth. They're very battle-hardened. They'll have a good go at Romania to secure themselves that place. But poor Scotland have had a really bad draw for this World Cup, based on the fact that the pools were drawn so far out from the actual tournament itself. I think the pool should probably be drawn 2 years out from the tournament. Scotland have some phenomenal talent, real hard guys up front, very good captain in the form of Jamie Ritchie, but considering South Africa are defending champions, I do think South Africa will be able to pip their way into the playoffs, and the Irish, they are probably peaking too early. I'd say they possibly are, but realistically they are the number one team. They did beat South Africa last time they played each other, so I'm going to have to hand it to the Irish to top the Pool B. Over to Pool C. Some very controversial hot takes here. Portugal, probably going to be fifth, let's be honest, but I'm going to say that this is going to be a very bold take. I think Australia are going to come fourth. They've just been absolutely shocking under Dave Rennie, who's just got a 38% win rate as their head coach. They've had injury after injury after injury through his reign. They've not been able to settle on a first choice side at all, aside from the front row, with Alan Alatoa, James Slipper and David Parecki as the front rowers. Michael Hooper's been in and out of the team. We've also seen a huge conundrum over at fullback, where it's been pretty much chopped and changed every week. The lack of continuity is really going to hurt Australia World Cup time, and I think that because of this lack of continuity they've had, they are going to come fourth. Georgia, they beat Wales recently, and they've been rebuilding their nation since the collapse of the Soviet, with rugby as a core tenet of this. They've really been able to restore a lot of pride with this game being their national sport, and with the improvements that we've seen from them, I'm going to have a hot take here. I think they could come third, with Fiji at second. We could potentially flip the two of these guys around, but as of how things are standing, the lack of continuity is really going to hurt Australia, whereas these guys are very founded on dominating up front in the form of the Georgians, whereas the Fijians are so mobile and fit, anyone can go anywhere, and they're not going to have a clear strategy that you're going to be able to analyse. They'll have a lot of things prepped, waiting and hiding for the World Cup, and they're having somewhat of a pre-World that we've kind of seen from Eddie Jones' teams over the years. Wales with Warren Gatland in charge. This is quite an easy poll, so I'm going to give it to them as the poll toppers. Warren Gatland is the king of short turnarounds for a team. As we saw in 2008, he turned Wales from third in their poll at 2007's World Cup to a 13-man Ospreys side with 2 extras, becoming the Grand Slam champions. Yes, 13 of those 15 players were from Ospreys because he knows how to build teams from a short-term position. Warren Gatland also knows a lot of who the Welsh players are already. He was the head coach for 12 years before he finally stepped down to go to the Chiefs. Now he's returned back. So I think that with him back in there, perhaps we're going to see a Welsh renaissance despite the issues that the WRU are having. Now, over to Pool D. Chile, quite obviously going to come last. Samoa, probably going to come fourth as they're ranked higher in the worlds than Chile. But England, I'm sorry guys, you dumped Eddie Jones, you're going to pay for it. Steve Borthwick right now is the favourite to take over. He's just had 2 seasons as professional head coach. Leicester were 6th in his first season, though it was a massive improvement from the previous coach, and they did win the premiership in his 2nd season as head coach, but after just 2 years as a head coach, realistically, are they going to be a very creative side? No, probably not. Borthwick loves to get his team to dominate up front, and, well, you've got to be creative against Argentina and Japan. Japan, they've improved a massive amount with Jamie Joseph as a head coach. Jamie Joseph is one of the greats, one of the best coaches of all time, and Japan, a nation that was basically a nobody till Eddie Jones turned up, I think we'll be able to qualify for the quarterfinals for the 2nd time in their history to mark a brilliant end to Jamie Joseph's career as their head coach. They've got a lot of good young talent coming through, whereas the likes of Dylan Riley have made a huge impact in midfield. Warner Dunes is going to be one of the greats. Michael Leach is still there. And Argentina, well, Michael Cheika's done some really good things with turning them around as well. He's done phenomenal stuff with just hardening them and getting them psychologically ready for the matches. Cheika is the master at short-term turnarounds before long-term destruction, so it's very good he's got a 2-year contract before Felipe Contepomi takes over from Cheika. That's Argentina's long-term plan, and I think with a long-term goal in sight, it'll be very good to get them to top that pool. Righto, so the quarterfinals. So the first one is going to be the Pool C winner versus the Pool D 2nd place. So if my predictions are correct, which they may not be, a lot can change in a year's time. I'm going to do another one of these videos closer to the time. But as things stand, I'm suspecting this is going to be Wales versus Japan. Warren Gatland, king of the counter, that's going to help Wales quite a lot. My dog, you can hear her, she agrees with me. The Japanese probably don't have the muscle up front that the Welsh do. The Welsh have a lot of powerful big boys like Wyn Jones, Adam Baird and Ken Owens, while Alan Wyn Jones could potentially make it to the tournament as well, considering he just never seems he wants to retire. So yes, I'm predicting Wales to win quarter-final 1. Quarter-final 2, this is going to be a massive one, because if the All Blacks, regardless of their placing in the pool, if they get through, which they probably will, they're either facing Ireland or South Africa. Ireland are ranked number 1 in the world right now, so should they avoid a lot of injuries, as they normally do before a World Cup, I'm suspecting they're going to top their pool, meaning they will face All Blacks, who will be 2nd in Pool B. I'm being brave here, guys. I'm being brave here. The Irish have never made it past the quarterfinals before, but considering a lot of the players from 2019 are still around today, whereas they're far more creative with ball in hand under Andy Farrell and Mike Catt, I think that Catt will have some plans in the backboard that the boys are doing at training, and they're waiting to unleash him come World Cup time. Mike Catt is a far better coach than he was as a player, and as I've said previously in my earlier videos for the mid-year series, he is the best attack coach in the world right now. Andy Farrell, he gets those forwards tough, he gets them fired up, and well, I'm going to have a very hot take here. Ireland, for the first time in their history, will make it to the semis. My boys, the All Blacks, they are improving, but as someone who's trying to be objective, I'm trying not to be biased towards my own nation, and I'm going to give credit to Ireland where it's due. I think they will go on to the semis. Argentina versus Fiji, probably going to be a wee bit lackluster. It might be a bit of a try-scoring fest from both teams, but ultimately, Argentina are going to have the upper hand up front with the boys like Tomás Gaijo and Julian Montoya giving real grunt. Pablo Matera is still going to be 30 years old as well. We'll have Kramer back from his red card by then. Hopefully Lavanini keeps his fists to himself. Fiji, I mean, aside from Haireti Hetet and Leone Nakarawa, who do they really have to fire back with? They've got the talent out wide to burn, but come on, guys. Rugby's one up front. Argentina progressed to the semis. Now, France versus South Africa. This is going to be absolutely phenomenal. This will be a beautiful quarterfinal to watch. South Africa, they're going to give it everything. Mauls will go for it. Their kicking game's going to trap France a fair bit. The French, though, with all the cohesion they've built with players going together at club level, then converting to international, they're going to have a lot of teamwork together on their side. They'll be able to work together after building this habit of knowing how to win to get themselves out of very deep holes. I suspect that even a 14-man France could pip South Africa at the death. They've got a range of great goal kickers in their side as well. Mathieu Jalibert, Melvin Jaminet, Romain Ntamack, and hey, they could even do a crazy thing and recall Maxime Machinot if Dupont gets injured. I'm going to say France could win against South Africa by 2 points, and we're now going to go over to the semi-finals. So, as things stand, Argentina are the only Southern Hemisphere nation left, which is absolutely hilarious. Wales versus Ireland, this will be a very good clash. Warren Gatland's rejuvenated Wales were back into the swing of things. But realistically, Ireland are a far more talented team, and the fact that Gatland's men will have only been together for a short amount of time will definitely give the Irish an upper hand. The Irish, after finally conquering the demon of the quarterfinal, they will just be so excited, and they'll be so in the mood, they'll be in the swing of things. They're going to have that massive psychological advantage after beating a huge demon against their side, and I think they'll be able to run it away against Wales and progress to the World Cup final for the first time in their history, making sure that, as I've previously said before, Andy Farrell goes down as their greatest ever head coach, and Johnny Sexton goes down as their greatest ever 10. Should they win, maybe I'll even call him their GOAT before Brian O'Driscoll. Now to the next semi-final though. Argentina versus France. Los Pumas, I will be so proud of them for getting this far in the competition, as they did not make the quarterfinals in 2019. France, with their habit of knowing how to win though, will probably be able to pull this back. They do have far better discipline than Los Pumas as well, and considering referees do take their jobs very seriously and try to uphold the rules to the best of their ability, they aren't going to shy away from dishing the cards out. And realistically, with France being second in the world, they do have the rankings advantage as well. So I'm going to see if France and Ireland are going to face each other in the World Cup final. The Irish, they are number one in the world right now, and potentially they could still be number one in the world by then. France, though, they always seem to be their bogey team. France, as things stand, are the only team to beat Andy Farrell's Ireland at Aviva Stadium. They haven't had the best of luck against the French, those Irish boys, and though they will have been on that massive high after finally getting past a quarterfinal, well, I'm sorry, luck eventually runs out, and the French, with all this purpose, this massive go at really properly identifying good under-20 players from 2017 onwards, all the investment into development that they've been doing for so long will have finally paid off. And I'd say Antoine Dupont will lift the World Cup Finals Webb Ellis Cup trophy. France, in my opinion, are going to win this World Cup because with Eddie Jones gone, unless the Irish make the final, there is no one left out there to upset the French. I said France were going to win last time in my previous update of who's going to win the World Cup, but hopefully my opinion will have changed by then, as I do want to do one last update before the World Cup itself begins. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Please let me know your thoughts about my predictions down below. I'm absolutely fine if you disagree with me, because at the end of the day, my channel is all about creating conversation. Thank you very much. Make sure to visit me over on Instagram. I'm about to hit 20k. I've also got a Patreon, as I mentioned earlier. I'm on Twitter as well, my blue check mark pending, and thank you so much for the support, guys. It's been a massive 2022 for me, and I'm so thankful. See you later, guys. Cheers.